to was the third puppy pen from the far end, and there's no reason to be over there. There's nothing over there to be surveyed. David's property was probably a half a football field the other way, which he shouldn't have came past. So that David's true right about. You know what I'm saying? 100%. When the man, booby trap, but still, anybody that knows anything, he had homemade silencers, booby traps, and a fucking bear trap. So ATF was there, DEA was there, SLED was there, and the county was there. So who do you know, who do you know that's ever had ATF on your property and seized homemade silencers and
Yeah.
never seen the day in court?
Hey.
Now where do they do that at? Because bro, if I get caught and if I got caught with a bullet in my car, I guarantee the Fed sending me because
Yes,
I'm
sir.
I'm going to
Yes,
jail
sir.
for the clip, the gun, and every bullet in it. This man's got homemade silencers, weapons, bear traps, and just got caught booby trapping his property where somebody got shot. Plus
Damn.
money laundering, plus racketeering, and guess what? Ain't never seen a day in federal court for none of that. Does 6 years in the fucking state pen. He beat me home, bro. I mean,
Somebody paid for it.
oh yeah, he paid him over. I mean okay, that's what happens when you have money, but still, I'm not fixing to be even loyal or even friends with somebody that we all know. I mean, the people that know him that how he
Yeah.
is.
Yep.
But you done snitched on somebody and send them to federal penitentiary, being Fat Bill, and then you have all these federal charges. I mean, big boy. I ain't talking about no, you know what I'm saying, a little bit of drugs in your car, and okay, well, we're not gonna pursue this. You get
Yeah.
caught with a homemade silencers. That's that. I mean, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
That's automatically gonna send you off.
Man, I'm going. Then they're gonna send me to Alcatraz. You know what I'm saying? This man. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Like I said, there's just for the people who get mad about me, I really don't give two shits. You got to look at the facts. You can't say, oh, well, I'm David's friend, so I'm not gonna believe that. Look at the facts.
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh
all you
yeah.
got to do.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting yellow dogs that don't have big floppies. What's that
Yep.
tell you?
Yep.
Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I used to hate them dogs. I give them, man, I ain't no goddamn bulldog. That's a hound dog. Look at them big ass triangle flappy ears. You know what I'm saying? That ain't no damn hound dog. But guess what? Yeah, that was some of the best shit you could get. You know what I'm saying? That's that yellow trait. But
Yep.
now you're buying dogs that got little teeny tiny pretty ears and no rib cage and you know what I'm saying, real long through the body and no type of muscle structure and
Mm-hmm.
uh.
So let me ask you this:
Yeah.
Was you around when he did the big head dog? When he castrated the big head dog?
I heard. I heard. I don't want to say too much. But I was told of the situation.
Yeah.
Remember when I told you me and David had our outs, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was in court records or not. So I don't know if I don't want to say anything. Well, I mean, I don't think. What's this? The version that you heard was that basically somebody's nut got cut, right?
I heard him and Burns had a problem about something, and then
About the
he put
stunty shit originally. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
and then he
well,
put the thing on the dog nuts.
okay, well. Not only that, but nobody knows. And and it's funny because I was just touching on this with my girl because she don't know nothing about it, and listen, oh, I've done seen him so females dogs female parts closed.
Damn.
Dogs that were prolapse, he would push them back up in there, put them in the rape stand, and literally take a needle and fishing line, a fish hook, not no regular needle, fish hook, and sew them closed, and sew them closed, and sew them closed. No medicine, no antibiotics, no nothing. Leave them out there in the yard, and half the time, that if something's coming in and not going out, you get what I'm saying? It's not gonna last long. Putting them in the heat, and yeah, as far as the falling out with Burns, it was supposed to be with the hot dog, Stumpy, whatever, falling out. Old man Burns was right about David. You know what I'm saying? That's what it all boiled down to was everybody that was anybody, just like with Carl choosing to not really fuck with him like that, because everybody knew how crooked he was, or everybody knew. So I truly believe that what people say happened. Now I was told about it. I
Yeah.
did not physically see that, so I don't want to say, oh yes, that happened.
Yeah.
But from the track record that he did, yeah, I from very close sources, I want to say it happened, but I don't want to physically say it did because if I didn't put my eyes on it, that ain't fair. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But the stuff that he did, it makes sense. Literally makes sense. I mean, he was a monster in all aspects. I understand if your stuff ain't working right for you, that you might have to make some changes and get rid of the that sell it to somebody else or however you go about what's not working for you. But the things that this man did just was fucking horrible, bro. Like
Yeah.
there's no dog man in that. And I'll touch with if you want to know about that, I'll touch with you off air about that one because
Yeah. Yeah.
that'll definitely spark bullshit that I know not me, you, or anybody else wants. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but, um but yeah, the falling out with Burns, there was a good reason behind it. Old man. I mean, everybody just got tired of seeing what they were seeing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and because Jr. The Jr. dog,
Yeah.
the supposedly the Yellow's brother.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Burns ran. You know what I mean? Burns and Carl Cruz. They went the Jr. A lot of they bred into a lot of Jr. stuff. Which was Yellow's belly mate brother that a lot of people didn't know nothing about unless you were a Burns and Cruz fan. You knew who he was.
Yeah.
But you had triple. I mean, you had Yellow and Sassy. STP took Sassy, but you had Yellow and Sassy, and you know, hell, David went haywire with it. So that's why a lot of people didn't know about the Burns and stuff. But I like the Burns stuff. It was a little big, but I bred it into some Bolio stuff from Vice Grip Kennels, and shout out to them at that point because man, that shit was like, oh my god, I had puppies that were freaking 12, 14 weeks old that could not be around each other at all. Acting like grown dogs. I mean, literally. And
Yeah.
shit, boy, that Warlock, the Vice Grips Warlock, and all that stuff back in. Oh yeah, And I bred that Instant Burn stuff, the hot dog and the stumpy stuff, and it was really good stuff. But when I bred it into the yellow stuff, it just really, I ain't gonna lie to you, it made a really dumb dog. And David's belief was it takes a dumb dog to be a game dog because if a dog was smart, he would realize that he was getting, you know what I'm saying? He'd get
Mm-hmm.
himself out of there. And okay, I believe that, but did made real dumb dogs for me. Like it just didn't work. I used yellow for the yellow dogs I was getting. I got to the point where I was breeding my own yellow dogs. I would take whatever bitch I wanted and breed to whichever yellow dogs I wanted to breed to because I was there. I had permission. I ain't
Yeah.
like
Mm-hmm.
that, but I stayed away from AAA. I stayed away from the supposed Red Devil. Um, I stayed away. I bred to Bob. Bob, like I said, I hate him for what he did to Bob. Bob was a very good producing dog, and I truly believe that some of the stuff that he was saying was off of AAA that was really, really good was actually off of Bob because he bred Bob just as much as he would breed AAA at the end.
Mm.
And
Damn.
yeah. Okay, most of your dogs that were coming at the closer to the end, 2001, 2002, your dogs,
You still there, bro?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
all your big buckskin black featured dogs in 2001, 2, 3 era were most likely off of Bob, because he was breeding Bob heavy, and that was his trademark. Bob was about a 52, 54 pound dog, buckskin, blackish color ears, black muzzle, and the stuff that he was saying was come off of AAA was the exact remnants of what Bob was producing, and AAA to produce more of these reverse red brindle looking, red. That's what he was producing. But a lot of the big buckskin dogs, I'm telling you, was off of Bob.
So let me ask you this:
Mhm.
the toe jam, being a toe jam, and they like to say he off AAA. Is it a chance that he could be off Bob instead of AAA? Because reason why I asked you this is because he never threw any brindle dogs, and all his dogs really look like Yellow.
That's what I'm saying. At the end, most of the dogs that were coming looking like the yellow dog was off of Bob because everything. Okay, so look,
Now it makes sense. Now everything's starting to make sense. Why
but
people were saying Yellow died, and he was supposed to be off of AAA, but I never seen Toe Jam throw a brindle dog back with the yellow stuff. When you bring it back to the yellow stuff, I never see them throw a brindle dog. And I always say Toe Jam dogs look more heavy yellow than some of the Mayday dogs that I seen come out.
And that's what Bob represented. That's what Bob looked like. Bob looked like
bigger dogs.
Yeah, and this is the thing. And then this is another thing for the people to say, oh, AAA. Okay, well, listen, brindle is also a dominant color.
Mm-hmm.
Black
Yes, it
is
is.
a dominant color. Brindle is a dominant color. I don't give a damn what you breed a brindle dog come to. You either gonna have a black brindle dog, a red brindle dog, a fawn brindle dog, a buckskin brindle dog. It's gonna have brindle somewhere in it because it's a dominant trait. So if you're getting them big buckskin dogs, you're not getting it off of AAA because they're breeding AAA to his sister. Okay. When they're breeding AAA to his sister, which is what he did a lot of, that's putting double brindle in everything. So everything's heavy brindle. Okay, so that's where you're getting all these red brindle dogs from. You're getting all these black brindle dogs. You're getting because it's AAA. Now your buckskin dogs, you're not gonna have a whole litter of buckskin dogs off of AAA. There's just no fucking way possible. You mean to tell me that AAA bred a whole litter and he's got a whole buckskin litter?
Yeah.
Not one piece of brindle in it.
Yeah.
Come on, man. These people don't understand the breed of the dog. You know what I'm saying? They listen to what this man says and it's David Tant. I'm going to believe him. Please do your research. If you're going to get in the dog, do your research. If you're buying a red boy dog, if you're going to a yard and you're buying a red boy dog and there's a black nosed dog, something's wrong. You get what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so when you're buying a AAA dog, but you're getting it and it's a 50-pound buckskin dog with black features, where's that coming from? Please tell me that. Because I'm not no rocket scientist, but I do read my research enough to know black is dominant.
Oh yeah.
Brindle's dominant, definitely. So you're gonna have it. I'm not gonna say that you might not have one buckskin dog somewhere in there. That's you know what I'm saying? Because there is people gotta understand you got the Jocko dog blood in there, you got this. So it is possible, but not every fucking one of them is not gonna happen. It's just not. And I'm sorry to be cussing like that, but I'm just saying.
Do you remember Mike Caton that used to be with Crossroad back in the days?
Yeah.
Okay, now when Mike was breeding his dog, that Toe Jam dog, all his other dogs, he never had no brindle dogs, period, that I seen. All his dogs was coming out buckskin.
And you know what his excuse was? It's the termite blood. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever heard that? I mean,
I heard people say that. I heard some folks say that.
Let me ask you a question. I seen more termite dogs have white in them than anything else, especially down here in the low country. You see these people, these termite dogs, a lot of them got white and this and that. Man, listen, Mr. Crossroad Kennels, that's why I'm not gonna hate on him. Let me stop that but that's when ignorance set in, and that's one thing I gotta and I'm like this in real life and not in just dogs and everything like that. I hate ignorance.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And when a man can sit there and for years and years and years make excuses for science. Oh well, he's not brindle because of this and this and this. No. Chromosomes and genes don't lie. That's what makes us who we are, and that makes dogs who they are.
You're right about that.
You get what I'm saying? You tell me what you want, but genetics don't lie.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And there's another dog, man. He's passed away, Mr. Billy Holden. You ever heard of Mr. Billy Holden? He's passed away though. Out of Lancaster.
The name sound familiar. His name sound familiar.
No offense to this, to people listening. I'm not saying anything out of the way, but he had Joe Chan. He had the Ike's Black Dick Dogs, and ran the George's side of the Red Boy Dogs, George's 2, all that. Anyway, I went up there. I sent him all this money in advance, and I went to buy 3 dogs, right? And they were supposed to be off of. The whole pedigree was supposed to be Red Boy. Okay, I get up there and all three of my puppies are black nosed dogs with black toenails. They didn't even have a white toenail on them. And I asked
Damn.
him, I said, Billy, I said, I think you made a mistake. He said, no, I didn't. This is off of George's too. And God, I want to call the other name of the dog. It was another George's dog. It was George's too, and it was a Bailey dog. It was a Bailey's Bingo, and it was Bingo Peaches. If you look at the house breed, it was Bingo Peaches, Bingo Cream, Bingo Peaches, Bingo Cream. So pure red boy. But my dog was black with black toenails and a black nose. White on
Damn.
his face. All three of them. Come on, bro.
Damn.
Hey, you know what I told him? I said, man, keep the money in the dogs. I don't want none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? You can have that. I'm not taking that home with me. Ain't no way. If I wanted that, I'd have went and bought that from somebody else. But, you know, and that's just the way things were. And, you know, gangbusters, they had some dogs bred like that, and they were pretty good. And they were close with David at one time, and David did some foul shit that, you know, he was, you know, picking on other less fortunate people that, you know, to push him out the way, if you get what I'm saying. And you know, they swore by him, and they got rid of all their shit. Matter of fact, they gave him. Dude had like 12 yellow dogs in the yard. He called somebody, told him come pick them all up. He didn't want them. Gave him the papers, the dogs, everything. Said, please come get these dogs. So that's how, yeah, and that's what the respect that he had was none. The man was a bully because he had money.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Hey,
And
but you see how it turned out for him in the end.
yeah, and guess what? Let me tell you what this dumbass. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know people that realize it. This man decides to take the shit to trial. Okay, who does this? Decides to take the shit to trial. So you know what they do? They subpoena everybody involved.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn who you are. You're subpoenaed. You get what I'm saying? So they subpoenaed him. Of course, he was on trial. They subpoenaed me. They subpoenaed the man that got shot, Stephen. I forget his last name. Anyway, this man, in the middle of trial, they go on break. The man fakes a heart attack, falls down the steps. Now they take him to the hospital. You know, because they denied it when he went to trial. They revoked his bond, and he was having to go to Greenwood Jail because they did a change of venue from Charleston to Greenwood. Okay.
Yeah.
So in the middle of this trial, when he sees he's fucking losing, because he's just he thought money was going to buy his way, but when Henry McMaster was that he was overslid then. You know, he's governor now, but when Henry McMaster's showing up to your trial, you know you fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Point blank. Well, you're challenging these people, and this man literally, on break, walks out and falls down the fucking steps. They take him to the hospital. The judge goes to the hospital room, and they do tests, and they do all that, and guess what they came back to determine? The man didn't even have gas or none of that. The man was perfectly healthy, and it pissed the judge off. It pissed all of them off because they done stopped it, spent all this money, stopped it. The man done thought he had a heart attack. They go to the fucking judge for the judge to go to the hospital room. You know, go to the emergency room. You know what I'm saying? And then they come to find out your blood pressure is normal, and you know what I'm saying. You're healthier than most people half your age. And yeah, like that's just the type. He just thought he could buy everything. You know what I'm saying? Like. And right after that, I'll never forget it. Right after that, he comes back the next day. He's in his wheelchair. You know what I'm saying? Like, the man perfectly walked in the court the day before. And now he's sitting in there with his arm all wrapped up because he done fell down the steps, and he's in this damn wheelchair, and he ain't got no support. Ain't nobody showed up for him. No family, no sister, no brother, no wife. No, matter of fact, I'm the one that called Carl to tell Carl what the fuck happened to him, and he didn't believe me. Carl said, "Ain't no way that man got that much." Yes, he did. Why? Because people were tired of him. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You can't treat people like that and do people like that and expect people to have your back or protect you or do any of that.
Right.
He was shitting so many people in the end and doing so much crazy things that, I mean, hey. You know what
hey, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. And somebody, I was trying to get an interview with him a while back, but I could never get in touch with him. And then somebody was telling me they can reach him or whatever. But honestly, man, I don't know if I want to interview him because I don't feel like he's gonna be honest. I don't feel like he gonna be him true self, and being him true self. You know, I mean,
is he known?
You know, huh?
Is he known though? I mean, like, I mean, like, is he well known in the dog world, or I mean, is he known in the dog world?
You talk about David?
No. Who you were? Oh,
Oh
who
yeah,
you were gonna interview him?
yeah. He or the guy was supposed to be his homeboy or something like that, and then he was like, he was gonna get him on or something like that, but he ain't never hit me back. You know, he ain't never hit me back.
Well, he
So,
did
but
the right thing, because if he would have came on, he would have lied.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I don't want to interview him. I don't even want to interview him.
Bro, that was probably his conscience.
Mm-hmm. If he ain't gonna be 100% honest about everything, I don't want to interview him.
Listen, I'm gonna be 100% honest because I ain't got nothing to lose.
I feel you,
I
bro.
don't even own a dog. Listen, I don't even own a dog right now. I have nothing to gain or lose out of this situation. The only thing that I have to gain is to actually let people know. For those who want to believe, please believe. For those of you that think that I'm just an asshole and just hating, I'm not hating. Because if I was hating, I'd have some other type of bloodline dog or something like that. Hell, I'm looking. Anybody out there, I'm looking for a puppy. I just want that. I want a female, like I told you. I just want a female that I can raise and let somebody else, use the breed, because I love the breed and I love the game, but I can't,
Oh yeah. Hey, everything you saying, man, it coincides to what I've been hearing. See, I'm from the same area myself, so everything that you saying, it goes straight to what I've been hearing ever since back in the 90s. This dog ain't off this. This dog ain't off this. This and this and this and this. Yep. So it ain't nothing to argue. It ain't nothing to argue with you about. You know what I'm saying? They can't get mad. They can't get mad if you think this dog is off Red Devil, or you think these dogs off this dog. I mean, this dog off Yellow and this dog off Yellow, and none of them off Yellow.
Well, anybody that's hearing this and thinks that Red Devil is anything, ask your old buddy David Tant who Freddie is, from Virginia, and ask him what happened with Red Devil, because he told Freddie claimed and told the world that he went and took Red Devil, and David denied it. Now he got the wrong dog, blah blah blah. No, the motherfucker, he got Red Devil. Red Devil was Red Devil ain't on this yard no more because Freddie's trying to get him, and this and that. Freddie, you the man. You got him. You had him. I don't know what you did with him. You did the right thing, because David shit him out. He was supposed to buy Red Devil, and David was supposed to sell him Red Devil, and told him this whole big fucked up story about how Red Devil got stolen and this and that. So Freddie did what he was supposed to do. Freddie came down there and got what he paid for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And no hating on Freddie. Freddie, I don't even know if, you know what I'm saying? You even in dogs no more. I'm not going to call last name, but you did what you did. You did get the dog. I don't give a fuck what David says. David didn't move that dog, because I watched him cry like a little bitch over that. And, people, well, you just hating on David and this and that. When that man invaded my privacy, yes, he became everything that I'm calling him.
I feel you on that.
You watch me in my personal life and what I had going on, sexual life, washing, drying. When you invaded that and that went into court, I actually had fucking sled agents and everything watching all that shit. So not only did he watch the shit, everything he had on DVDs and burned on there, they watched for evidence. So not only did he see it, DEA seen it, ATF seen it, SLED seen it, everyone's seen it. So yes, David is a piece of shit, and I'm not hating on him just for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to slander him and say that he's a piece of shit because of what he did to me. But I'm gonna say the reason I'm doing it is because it just needs to be known, and everybody else is too scared to do it. And I don't give a damn how much money he's got. I've made it this far in life, so if he doesn't like me, if he wants smoke, if he wants any of that, and I'm not saying nothing violently, so please don't nobody come knocking on my doors, laying in my bushes or nothing like that. I mean, I don't want no smoke with a man, but for real, he's a piece of shit, and I'll go on Live 5 News. I don't know if you're from Charleston. I see but I'll go on Live 5 News, whatever it is down there, and I'll call him a piece of shit there too. But he violated my family life, and to me, that's not has nothing to do with the game. What we got going on, or they had going on with dogs is one thing, but when you step in my family life with my mama, my kids, and my personal sexual business, bro, I'm gonna say what I say, and they can hate me to the hill. But
that's why you got to be careful how you treat people, bro. Because way back then when he was doing that, he felt like he had the upper hand. He didn't know 20 years down. down the line that, oh, you was gonna have a mouthpiece that was gonna speak to people all across the world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He
And
didn't know you was gonna have a mouthpiece like that to speak to people way over here in damn Germany, talk to people way over here in Ireland, people way over here.
I'm not doing this for any type. Let me say this, and David, if you hear this, not because like I said, I agree with you. You're gonna hear it. I'm not doing this for any type of revenge, retribution, none of that. I'm doing what's right because it was right. You are a racist. I will say that. If you wanna do another interview later on down the line with both of us on here somehow, some way, I would love to do that. If you want, David, if you want to, I'll buy you lunch at Waffle House, even though you got more money than me, or Huddle House, or I don't know if you're still on Dorsey Road or Dorsey Avenue, but if you are still down there, we got our favorite restaurant down there. We ain't gonna call it, but we can go sit down. Hell. Or we can go to Little River and ride, go out on the casino boat we used to go out on every other weekend. I mean, we can do whatever you want to do to hash this out.
Now y'all on my end of town. Now you're talking about the Little River casino boat now.
Okay, so you see what I'm saying? I know what I'm
talking about. That ain't too far from me.
Yeah, well, listen, we can all go shoot the shit on the intercoastal waterways and drink all them good free drinks and gamble a little bit and eat them sandwiches coming back in, and we can have a good old fashioned get together.
Hey, me and you probably have fun. He probably ain't gonna chill with us up there now.
Shit, no, because number one, neither one of us are on his level. So
yeah.
And I heard he's a pastor now. I mean, I don't know how true it is, but I heard he came home, and I heard he's, I'm not nobody for being a Christian and all like that. So please don't hate on. I know I can already tell I'm gonna have a bunch of people now. He don't like Christians. No, I didn't say that. But he, from what I heard, he came out being in the church life, and I'm all for that. But but he did anything he could to make parole, including buying a 5-2 vote.
Well, if he really made a change to that life, then it shouldn't be no problem with him telling how he was living back then.
That's part of being who you used to be.
It should be easy for him.
Yep. He should be out here talking to the young generation.
Mm-hmm. It should be easy for him to say, I was like this, but now I'm like this. I was this the type of person I was back then, or I made these mistakes. I did this wrong. You know what I'm saying? But I felt deep in my heart that I had to make a change or something. It should be easy for him to say it. If he can't get up here and tell the truth, then it all that's a bunch of bull. You know what I'm saying?
It is, and I hate that. But listen, my phone's about to die. I had it on charger, but all this power that's coming into this interview is for real draining my battery. I guess it's the truth and the power and behind this whole message. It's draining it's draining. And I got a nice, you know what I'm saying, pretty good sized phone that usually lasts. But I got the charger plugged in and the power is coming out of it. But listen, you got my number though.
Yes, sir.
Anything, you want to discuss, talk about. I'm not, I want to. The only reason I say I want to be not left out, because I said what I said, but the only reason I don't want my identity really put out there is because of all the hate that's going to come out of this, because you got so many people that are loyal, to they're going to be loyal to him, and I get that. Well, and actually I don't, but I'm not anybody else. I can't be loyal to somebody that, there's a certain type of way, but
I tell you what, man. I'm gonna end it like this right here. I'm a ride or die Yellow fan, and everybody who watch my channel, they know it, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna stand behind you with this one, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel everything he's saying. You know what I'm saying? Half the stories you're talking about, I heard pieces and parts of the stories, but the other half of the story that you filled in, everything makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And I would never look at it like you just trying to tear him down or something like this or something like that. Nah, man, you brothers need to know what kind of people they was dealing with, or especially these young brothers who keeping this brother on a pedestal, keeping this brother high. We need to know what kind of person we was dealing with. You know what I'm saying? What kind of person the dog was good, but like you said, half of the people who got yellow dogs, they're not off yellow. You know what I'm saying? How he was calling the black brothers names behind their back and all this and that, and
No, and it was never in their face, or it was never in public. It was always, especially like, God, like I said, Nightmare Kennels. I love them. Turtle Buster stuff, all that stuff down there, and it was always after. You know what I'm saying? Getting in a vehicle, or this or that, dumb, N word, or you seen that N word, this or that. Yeah. So it was. He never had the balls to do it. To anybody or in front of everybody. It was always after nobody was around. That's why he was able to keep it in the closet for so damn long. But come on now, he was a good old boy. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
And you know how them good old boys, and I'm not profiling nobody because that'd be wrong for me to be saying that. But I'm white, and I know that I'm not from the South. No, like I said, I'm from back home in Philly or outside of Philly. And I ain't gonna say there ain't racism up there because it's everywhere, but it's not bred into. They don't instill this in the new generation like they do down here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They still talking about it. We trying to get away from it up there. You know what I'm saying? What's over is done with.
Yeah.
People. But like I said, if you were spending money with him, he didn't give you a damn black, white, Puerto Rican, Chinese. He seen green.
Yeah.
He seen green. So,
hey man, I appreciate you giving me the interview, man. I appreciate you, man. This is one of the best interviews I did, man.
Hey, and a lot of people don't realize how powerful. The people hear yellow, 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 but nobody realizes the power that was behind this. My whole journey with him, and he's gonna say, "Well, I've been knowing but this long or this that isn't." No, I call dates, times, names, places. So yeah, you don't just you can't find that in no SDJ. You know what I'm saying? You ain't finding none of the shit I'm telling you. But for those who don't know, David was. And let me ask you a question: who the hell? Who's the number one? Because if you look back, he's listed as number 2. So who was number 1?
They keep going from Frisco to Jeep. Frisco and Jeep.
Yeah. I'm talking about if he was supposed to be the number 2 breeder in the world or in the United States. Who was number 1?
Well, they were saying Tant was number 1 until he went to jail.
Yeah, and then I read some stuff where he's number 2. I'm still trying to figure out who the hell number 1 was. Because god dang it, I done been with the number 2 guy, and he was a piece of shit. I want to run with number 1 guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought I was running with the number 1 guy supposedly.
Yeah, far as I know, Tant was number 1 up until he went to jail.
That's what I thought. Because we was Mexico, sending dogs to Taiwan, China, goddamn Europe. I mean, I just reread an article today before I talked to you, and I said number two dog in the world. Well, who the fuck is number 1? Because I'm trying to wrap my head about. Damn, somebody done popped out I don't even know about. But yeah, so he did his thing, and he was like, I'm not gonna take nothing from him. The man did what he did. The man was good at what he did, all the way to scamming people. He was good to breeding the dogs. He was good to conditioning, certain things and doing certain things and knowing things. He was very, very good at it. But at the end, he was very, very good at bullshit. You get what I'm saying? So, but listen, I still love the dogs and everything, even though I'm not in it. And keep me in mind, like I said, man, if you know anybody out there that's got a little puppy or something coming up,
Hey, when I have something, I'll holler at you, bro.
Yeah, do that, because I just, what I'm saying, I'll hold on to her. She ain't going nowhere. No, oh God, now I done opened that up. I'm gonna have a bunch of haters and talking shit about me not bully dogs. That's not me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they're not pit bulls, but that's just not what I'm into. They're pet bulls, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want a pit bull, not a pet bull.
Oh yeah. Hey, I appreciate you. You, man. I appreciate you. I want to send a salute out to the chat. I appreciate everybody from the chat, man. Y'all hit that like button before y'all get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? PBK9 is giving it to you exclusively, man. You know you heard of that first, like I said, hey, all them yellow pedigrees out there, man, y'all better look at them and start examining them. I told you, everybody dog ain't off yellow. Everybody dog ain't off yellow, but y'all stay safe out there. Y'all have a good day. Y'all stay legal out there. And just remember, PBK9, some gonna like it, some ain't. I'm out. Thank y'all for tuning in to your favorite channel, Pelican Bay Dog Talk and News for the day. Giving it to you the way I always do, fair and unbiased. Some gonna like it, some ain't. Y'all hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to drop down in the comments like you always do. Salute to all the Bulldogs from one side of the world to the other side of the world, from one side of the country to the other side of the country. Salute to all the Bulldoggers down in the chat as well. Down in the chat as well. I told you I had to break this interview up into two. So I gave you the first half. I'm gonna give you the second half now. I do want to say salute again to all the Bulldoggers down in the chat. This I'm gonna say it like this right here. To start this interview off. This isn't a real opinionated interview. When I say that, I don't mean from the brother I'm interviewing. I mean, this is not really an interview where we worrying about your opinion. When I say that, I mean, we giving it to you. You can like it or you not like it, one or the other. It's not an interview where we, looking for certain people's opinions on certain things. You know what I'm saying? We just giving it to you. And if you like it, you like it. You don't, you don't. You know what I'm saying? How you doing today, bro?
Hey, what's going on, bro?
Ain't too much, man. Ain't too much.
Can you hear me better this time so we don't get no complaints?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got you loud and clear, man. Got you loud and clear.
I want to make sure I step my mic game up. I know that was one of the comments.
Hey, we got it, bro. We got it. Yes, sir.
And I want to say one more thing real quick, if you don't mind.
Oh, go ahead, big dog.
I got several people that are wanting me to talk to them and do an interview with them, and this is exclusively for you and no one else. So anybody else who wants to interview, they ain't getting it. They better call you and talk to you about it.
Hey, I appreciate that, man. They ain't gonna call me because they got too much pride to call.
Well, I'll let you know.
They'll just try to do the same thing. And the thing about it, a lot of brothers might try to do the same thing, but it just, I don't know. Everybody do what they do, man. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Far as what I'm saying, everybody can do what they do. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate everything you said though on your behalf. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
I appreciate everything you say, and I do want to say this. You know what I'm saying? With anything we talk about, man, I want to make sure that I want you to be comfortable with anything you say. I don't want you to talk about nothing that's going to make you feel uncomfortable, nothing that's going to make it feel too personal or anything like that. Nothing. Just be, you can say what you want to say, but just be comfortable and, what I'm saying, don't put yourself far as in an uncomfortable situation. You know what I'm saying, for the interview. You know what I'm saying? Because these Bulldoggers, you already know it, they're gonna be here when we long dead and gone. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna give them that dog talk though. But I just had to say that, man, because I wanted to say, keep the brothers like what you was talking about, because they felt like you was being honest and sincere. And the thing it is, we want to keep that on that same level. You know what I'm saying? We know. And I'm gonna say it like this because I got a couple questions to ask you. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want brothers to feel like, oh, you answering these questions because you don't like Tan or you got a problem with Tan or you beefing with him. See, I want you to be able to answer these questions, even though you have feelings towards him, but answer the questions honestly.
I will.
You know what I'm saying? And I know you will, dog. I know you will. I'm just, expressing that to the people that's listening to it now to let them know how we getting down on this.
Listen. Let me go ahead and touch on what you just said. So look.
Go ahead.
So we're talking about 20 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, so even though I feel the way I feel about them, we're talking about dogs. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like you said. What he did to me personally is what he did to me personally, but I'm not doing a personal interview on what he did to me. I'm doing what he did to dog. So, as far as liking, if you remember in the part, I told him that at one point in time that he was, you know,
I want to interrupt you real quick, but you break all the last thing you said for the last 15 seconds is breaking up on us.
All right, what about now? Is that better? Is that better?
Yeah, you good. Yeah, you good.
Okay. So what I was saying was, what he did to me personally. This isn't a personal interview, and what he did to me is what he did to the dog world. So, lying or not being honest or whatever about certain things would be me being that asshole that's deceiving the dog world. You know what I'm saying? By answering false questions, because that put me in the same category. Whether you know what I mean. So I've
Yeah.
got no reason to, none
Oh yeah.
whatsoever.
Yep. Yep.
And at one point I loved the man like a brother, but you know what I mean. And I'm not gonna hate on him. I'm gonna give it to you how it is.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And that's I want to make another statement. Before we get deep into this thing, that plays a part, and then how treating people right. It all plays a part in treating people right the first time you meet them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I one thing we got to be honest with each other. You know what I'm saying? And this is like Grch Yellow. You know, uh, I don't really care when I say this. I mean, whether you said an N word or not, or whether I said the C word or not, it don't really matter. What matters to me is how you treat me as a person. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying, how you treat me when I'm in front of you. All right. With that being said, you know what I'm saying, and treat me like a man when I'm around you. You know what I'm saying? And never treat me less. With that being said, I do want to acknowledge the dog man that I came around. You know what I'm saying? The older dog man. When I say older, I want to say older because uh, a lot of the older brothers was living in times where we were different. You know what I'm saying? So
okay.
I'm talking about, like, when I say Mr. Claude Puckett, you know what I'm saying? When he
Yeah,
brought me to his house, when I came to his house, it was no money involved. He maybe thought he was gonna sell a dog, but it was not, it was no money involved. He treated me like I wanted to be treated. You know what I'm saying? And then when I called years later and he was in the nursing home and I talked to his wife, she was talking to me, and I'm talking about she was just as humble and just as nice as she was the day I met her, and that was probably 15 years later. And when people treat you good throughout life, you can talk about it, and it ain't all about the bad stuff all the time. But with somebody like
okay.
this brother, it need to be brought to the forefront. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
I'm not sure if you met the Pecan Man, Mr. Mac Booth. He treated me like he brought me in. We sat on the porch and just talked about dogs for hours and hours and hours. Mr. Raven, he was good dog man, the man who Cruz got Rocky from. You know,
Yep, cruise
uh,
dog. That was a very good dog. 4 out, I believe. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, good dog.
Now the man he got him from, I know him personally pretty good, and he was a great man to me. You know what I'm saying? And the thing and what I want to say, I'm saying this before because people have ways they act around other people. You know what I'm saying? But I can't really hold that against them. I can only hold how they treat me. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
And when it come to Walkamo, I done heard all different kind of little stories about them boys. But when a lot of my black brothers was, not necessarily um, uh, kicking me to the curb or nothing like that, but just when you needed something or you need this or you need that, nobody's around to give it to you. Welcome
That's
out,
right.
welcome out, put me on my feet, gave me, gave me food to put in my, my pocket, money to put in my pocket, working for it, you know what I'm saying? Like a
That's
man,
right.
treat me like a man. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And one thing about it, it ain't no days, it ain't no time going where you're gonna always have everything up. You're gonna have ups, you're gonna have downs, you know what I'm saying? But the thing about it, when a man know he's being treated like a man, he ain't got no other complaints about it. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And I just had to talk about that because all them old school dog men and all them know the brother who we talking about now. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't gonna use no excuses for brothers being old to say, oh, they treat this person like this or this person like that. Cause like I said, I'm coming to these brothers' yards and houses. Yeah, they might be. I don't know what kind of association they tied up with, but when they see me and they talk to me with no money involved, they treating me good. You know what I'm saying? And
That's right.
so, I just wanted to say that because I know that, like I said in the last video, Tant probably watched this video, and I know quite sure he know Mr. Clark Puckett, he know Mr. Pecan Man, he know Raven, and he know Welcome Out. So it's a shame for you have all your peers out here treating people like they're supposed to be treated, and then you the one out here like an asshole trying to skull people, take people's money, and treat people like they nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's just a shame, man. It's just a shame.
Did you happen to see my comment where they were saying when somebody had asked about him going to old man Burns' house and putting the walking on Burns' yard and putting uh, the band on the dog's nuts on another man's yard? You know what I'm saying? I commented on that. Well, what about what he did to Mr. Hollingsworth? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, he when he bred when they sent the bitch down to breed the yellow Mayday was produced, he pretty much, I mean, held him hostage until he got another couple bands because of what he was producing. Like he was just an asshole like that in general. You know what I'm saying? I think they paid $3,000 more, than the agreement was. You know, he was supposed to get a pup or whatever they had agreed. Well, Hollingsworth was supposed to get the pup that he wanted. David already agreed that he would take whichever, and then turned around and said, "Well, you're not getting your pup till you give me." I want to say $3,000. So he was a genuine asshole all the way around. You know what I'm saying? When I tell you take the money, you know what I mean?
So,
And he did that to his wife. He didn't even call Hollingsworth himself. He called Hollingsworth's wife and said, "If y'all want this dog, or I'm keeping the dog, I need X amount more money." And they literally forked the money over to get the Mayday dog.
and that was Hollingsworth Dolly.
That was Dolly. When Dolly was sent down there, yes, sir. I look. That's why they never did it. You ever see any other breedings of old man Hollingsworth to him directly? No.
Nope.
It was a bad business deal. And he didn't even have the balls to do it to Mr. Hollingsworth himself. He did it to his wife. He called his wife and said, "Look, if y'all want the dog, he ain't getting the dog unless you do this, do that. Send me X amount of money." And they had to do what they had to do to get Mayday. I'm glad they did. You know what I'm saying? But but that's what I'm saying. He wasn't just an asshole to black people. He was just an asshole to everybody.
Yeah.
And period.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's other people that know about that story. You know what I'm saying? That you don't really. I don't know if you've ever heard that story, but I promise you, there's other people that's heard that story, and it's facts. It's not, it's not something that you're just making up. Oh well, he did this or he did that. That's a factual story. And if anybody else have heard the story, I hope they'd speak up and say, "Yeah, I've heard that too." But yeah, he pretty much held that dog hostage until they paid. He was the puppy until they paid. I don't quote me, don't hold me to the 3,000. I'm pretty sure. Because it could have been two, it could have been 2,500. I'm pretty sure it was $3,000, and that was in 2000. What was it? 2000, 2001, 2000, 2001, somewhere around there. So you figure $3,000 back then is about what, 10 bands to us now.
Yeah, that had been one of them later letters.
Well, it was the Mayday. It was when Mayday was. I don't know the exact. I don't want to call dates on that because I don't. I'm not gonna say I'm familiar with the exactly what date, but I just know what happened.
Yeah.
But it was Mayday himself. So whatever year it was, he was born.
That was in the 90s then.
All right,
early 90s.
That's early 90s. Okay.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah, my bad. I'm way off on that one because it was 04 that he. Yeah. My bad, because Yellow was in 92. I'm sorry. I'm a generation off. Sorry.
Hey, the boys gonna be talking trash down there in the chat.
Talk trash. I got my 01 and my 91 backwards.
Hey, I got you, big dog. I got you. I was gonna ask you that anyway, but you had went ahead and got to that. I was gonna ask you, did you think Mayday was definitely off Yellow?
Yes.
Because I wanted to make some things clear. I wanted to clear some things up about that because we was talking about Yellow and all that other day. And
the reason I say that is because I know the story behind it with Dolly. I know that is a true factual story. I'm sorry I messed up on the date. Yeah, I'm like I said, but yes, I promise you that Mayday is off of Yellow because he sent the dog to Hollingsworth after the falling out went and he paid the extra money. So yes, that is true.
So with everybody knowing it's a difficult guy to deal with, why people still dealing with him? I guess because he had Yellow.
Well, I mean, that would be it. I mean, in a nutshell. But then again, he was the only one out there at the time campaigning hard like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not taking away from anybody else, but I'm talking about the Yellow Dog. Yeah. Even though he was co-owned by, Mr. Carl, and I'll clear that up because I know somebody asked if it was Carl Mims. We're talking about Carl Cruz. So even though they co-owned the dog, it was David out there, campaigning. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It was David the one that went to Mr. Fletcher Chavis, and before them dogs weren't even registered. You know what I'm saying? Miss Jocko, the Jocko dog, like I said, he was not registered. David paid to have them dogs registered. David did all that back work to Mr. Fletcher Chavis out of Nices. He did all
Mm,
that. So he was the one pushing the stuff hard, not taking nothing away from Carl. Carl was a good businessman. You know what I mean? He did what he had to do, but you seen the dog, you seen what he would do, you seen what he produced. So when you look at Yellow, who comes to mind? David, because David was campaigning, David was pushing him hard.
yeah. Yeah.
So, and back then, you know what I'm saying, especially in the South, what the Red Boy dog was, what, out of Florence or upwards of your side of town, ain't it? I mean,
Yep.
above you.
Yep. Yep.
So you had Red Boy up there, you had Jocko, out here in Nices. So it was a Carolina dog, it was a Southern dog, and when I don't want to say too much, but I don't know how your partake is on the Red Boy dogs, but the pure Red Boy dogs, couldn't hold a hog. You know what I mean? That's about all they could do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for
Yeah.
some reason, when they bred to the Jocko stuff, it made a, a, something that they could do something. You know what I mean? So that's what
Hmm.
they associated. The yellow dog and everything like that. So all the Red Boy fans had no choice. David was the only one pushing that at the time. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
and like I
Yeah.
said, he was a good dog man back then, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As far as a dog man, as far as knowing what he was doing, as far as knowing how to do it, when to do it, where to do it, and to make the dog successful, he was just a piece of shit breeder. You know what I mean? Once he got to where he knew he could make the money,
Mm-hmm.
that's when the love of the game went.
And you
You know
know
what I
what?
mean?
You know what? Like when like he said, him and Cruz was partners, and Cruz was the more honest person to deal with of the two. Okay, now yeah, like Cruz name kind of faded out with Tent name kind of start getting heavy, 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 heavy. I'm talking
You
about.
know why? You
Go
know
ahead,
why?
go ahead, go
Because
ahead.
he knew David was doing crooked business. Listen, I'm not trying to put because Mr. Cruz. I'm not trying to put him out there. Mr. Cruz. This is how much I know. Mr. Cruz had a full-time job at the Piggly Wiggly. Okay, the man that had you know what I'm saying. David Tant was retired out the Navy, did a bunch of stuff in the stock market, did the dogs. So he had not but idle time on his hands. Carl was a hardworking man. He worked every day until he retired. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? So he wasn't able to do the things David was doing because David did once he retired from the Navy, and was in Charleston, that's all he had. He would sit there in the morning until noon, about lunchtime, watch the stock market back and forth, wouldn't come to the dog yard till 2 or 3 o'clock after he was done all that, and then he would do what he did with the dogs from 3 till he went home with his wife, had dinner, whatever, had his family life, and weekends were always wide open. He was so scared to leave the dog yard because everybody under the sun was trying to get there and steal the stuff from him, and so he pretty much that was his life. It was the
yeah,
dog yard, the stock market, and that. But Mr. Cruz, he was a family man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he held his job forever, kept his nose clean, didn't shit nobody. You know what I mean? But like I said, he was the man. I don't want to put him down and say he's the man behind the scenes, but he had his part in it. But he was smart enough to see once David was getting this bad reputation and seeing him get money hungry like that, he was smart. I'm gonna make my money this way, but guess what? I'm doing the same thing you're doing. I'm selling dogs, but I'm not doing it a stupid way. You feel what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yep,
And that's that to me. I feel like that was the difference.
yep. And right now, although they was associated, we know the difference. They're not associated. You know what I'm saying? Far as
It
uh,
is exactly.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
So go ahead.
but you know how I met David. I'm gonna tell you how I met David real quick. He was so worried that I was gonna try to get something out of him or something like that. The first 3 times I ever met him, guess where he met me at? He took me
What?
straight to Carl's yard. Met me at the Dodge's chicken place right there on 17, and drove to Johns Island and took me to Carl's yard 3 or 4 times before he ever took me to his, just to see if I was, just trying to get in there with him to where hey, I'm just trying to get in there and take your dog from you or something like that. So the
Yeah.
man actually he was telling Carl, oh yeah, it's a good friend of mine. He's good people. But knowing what he was doing, he was just trying to see, what the hell was really going on, and you
Hmm.
know, and that's how I know about them being good friends. As soon as we pulled up, cigars come out, cowboy hats come out, cards come out, liquor comes out. You know what I'm saying? And it's a good old boys thing. But yeah, he took me to Carl 3 or 4 times before I have ever even seen County Line Road.
Damn.
Yeah, so
Damn.
that's how I know, the whole backstory about, everything. The people that know David as the dog man, know David as what they know of him.
Yeah.
Half the people never even came to the yard. He would meet them somewhere else or do something else or, right off the interstate. No, I was on the yard, lived on the yard, was living, breathing everything on the yard. I mean, and the stories a lot of people don't know, and that's why I said, these people are, getting the actual life behind the dogs with the
Yeah.
dogs.
Yeah. Now I heard you mention something earlier about the Cadillac dog. Did you ever see him breed the Cadillac stuff?
I never, ever, ever seen him breed the Cadillac stuff. He Listen, that dog, the one that he had, it was a dark brindle dog, okay, and I'll be honest with you. I never seen him breed. No, you know what? I do take that back. He did. He was bred twice, but neither time the bitch took. So I've never seen anything come off of that. But I've actually seen him bred twice, but there was no offspring out of the litters.
Mm. Nah. Now I seen some the brothers talking about the dog Rambo. You know something about that dog?
I don't want to, like I said, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I would be all speculation on the Rambo dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not, I don't even want to give no secondhand knowledge on it. I really truly don't know.
Yeah. I feel you on that. Now I remember you was saying something about Tant he when he got Travis. Now I want
Uh
to show
huh.
you. I'm gonna see if I can show you something real quick. No. All right, now that's Travis right there. He's supposed to be off Yellow. Now when he got him back from Crossroad. No.
That's
One
not the same dog.
that's not the same dog right there.
That's not the same dog. Travis that he had did not have that white on his collar like that.
Okay, now that's what I was about to say. Cause see, Crossroad dogs had the white in the neck like that.
Yep, that dog that had no white. When you showed me that, I immediately knew that. I mean, there's the typical yellow floppies. There's the buckskin typical yellow, and there is the typical Crossroads white. But I'm telling you right now, the Travis that he had that he said came back from Crossroads, that is not the dog.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is not the dog. Listen, just like I seen a picture somewhere of somebody where Tant's Big Bob.
yeah.
That's not big. That's not the true Bob dog.
The
The
big
true Bob dog is bigger than that.
okay. That was the picture I showed on the last interview, the big Bob
Yeah.
dog.
Now listen, there was a dog that he sold to somebody that they named Bob. I don't know if it was Big Bob. So like I said, I won't, you know, but the Bob that he used, that was not him. I
Okay,
promise you.
okay.
And yeah, that dog. I put it to you like this: Bob, the Bob that he had looked just like Yellow, but he was a little bigger. He was a 60-some pound dog. He was huge, 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 but he had more black features.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? He had black in the muzzle, he had black in the ears, and he was a whole lot bigger. And he was bow legged as hell.
damn.
And I personally know the dog. And like I said, I can speak about this now because all of it was in court records. So anything I'm saying right now is not something that is snitching or nothing like that. Because if anybody wants to know anything and can access public records, they can access anything about this. He hung Bob. He literally got pissed off because the dog was barking. The dog was old as hell. This how ignorant this man was.
Yeah,
I went back there because I heard the whole yard raising hell. I'm like, what the you know what I mean? I'm thinking something's off. He's going to get off the chain. I go back there and I look at the puppy pen, and he's got Bob hanging from a rope. from the top of the kennel, his feet maybe 4 inches off the ground, and told me that he put a bullet in my head if I took him down, because I was going to take the dog down. You get what I'm saying? I don't
Yeah.
look. I don't. You know, people do their thing. It's none of my business. But I'm not going to sit there and watch something that made that man so much money, and not just that. It's, you know what I'm saying? It's a principle behind it. Like, I mean, it's an animal. You know what I mean? And I know, you know, there's, you know, some people have reasons that they had to, you know, take their dogs to the vet or have